Yeah, these guys don't look like they work out at all.
No,
I
not
mean,
at all,
really,
not
they
at all.
gotta get in the
Never
gym.
been to the
'Cause
gym. Come
Of
on.
course, Pride Week in Edmonton has come a long way. In the early years, Mickey Wilson recalls heckling and harassment and slight public support.
It was a few people. The first times that the community kind of gathered were picnics in parks, Victoria Park, places like that, because it wasn't safe to have a parade. And the first parade was decidedly different than the one today.
And there were protesters too. I mean, people would march and people would protest. Like from being a protest march and being protested and being sort of a in your face, we're here, we're not going away kind of attitude, it has shifted. So in the past 10 years, it's been a true celebration.
And there's little kids in the pouring rain bouncing up and down like they're having the time of their lives.
Today, here and at Canada's largest Pride parades in Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver, all LGBTQ and allies are represented. Wasn't like that in the early 80s.
The first parade was about 7 people, and they were down here. They wore paper bags on their heads, actually, out of fear. And when the police were called, they scattered, took the bags off their heads so they couldn't be identified.
Late 90s, early 2000s, it felt more like a celebration. It was fun.
Discrimination still happens, but there has been an increased acceptance by the public, business community, supportive organizations, generally just the population.
Businesses are now very interested in participating. Politicians of all backgrounds want to be in the parade. So it mainstream. I'm not sure what mainstream really means, but it's just accepted, and it's a part of our community. To no harm to anyone.
So after 9 years, downtown, the ever-growing Pride Parade returns to where it began, White Avenue.
We're expecting a very large crowd this year, and so 35 years is a real accomplishment, and it's one of Canada's largest festivals, one of Canada's oldest and largest.
A protest to celebration, and still retains elements of both of those today because both are equally important. We have a lot to give to the community. We add to the richness of the fabric of this community, and that's a really important aspect of Pride. We have miles and miles and miles to go yet.
This is Tim Dancy reporting.
You love the tutus.
Right?